Welcome. Here we are. Showcase your art collection with less effort, a look at artwork archives, public sharing features. It's a webinar for collection management. So for those that are utilizing our collector or organization accounts or those that are managing their art collection, we also have wonderful webinars for artists and their art business. And so if you are an artist and popping in and interested in those, you can check out our website for more content. For those that are new to Artwork Archive, who is this host of the webinar? Well, we are an online art inventory management system that's been around for over a decade, working with artists, collectors, and collecting institutions, organizations of all types, corporate collections, nonprofits like public art programs, hospitals, academic institutions, museums, artist co-ops, you name it. And so we help all these folks organize, digitize, and then share out and promote their wonderful artworks, stories, legacies. And then we also have a big arm of educational content, which brings me so much joy. I'm head of partnerships here at Artwork Archive, Elysian Kogelmeyer, that's my name. And I lead a lot of content for our collectors and collecting institutions. And it brings me so much joy to discuss content that is relevant for you all. So today, it's all about bringing your collections online. Last month, it was donations. The month before that, emergency preparedness. And in the future months, we'll have a lot of content for you. And then during this time, we have a poll. If you've been to our webinars, we like to just know who is in the room, what type of organization you represent. So my colleague Anamika will launch the poll. And if you don't mind answering just a few questions, it's also helpful to know if you are using Artwork Archive right now, because again, this webinar is focused on our public facing tools within the platform and how you can use them. And it's also helpful to know if you are utilizing them right now and you're just here to learn how to get more tips to improve your public profile or your website embeds, or if you are new to us and curious about what these features are, definitely this will be a great starting point. So thank you everyone for filling out the poll. All right, we gave you a minute, so we'll end the poll now and look through the results. We'll share the results. Thank you, Anamika. We have a nice spread of folks coming from academic institutions. I hope you're having a nice quiet summer, ramping up for the fall semester. Small museums, number of private collections, interesting, welcome. Corporate collections. And then, as I expected, many of you do have an Artwork Archive account, whether that's a free trial or you've been using us for a while. And for those that are new, hopefully this gives you a nice walkthrough of what is possible with our platform. And if you're using something else, then hopefully these tips can also translate to that as well. About half of you don't have a public profile right now, so let's show you all the advantages of having one. And many of you are not using the website embed. So that's the goal. It's the goal of this presentation is to show you all that is possible within an Artwork Archive account. We built it so you can use it. So let's get into it. We'll go through just like a short little why online access matters now. If you need some bullet points to bring to your supervisor or colleagues about why putting this project on the organization's plate right now is important, we'll have a few tidbits for you to be able to share out. And then I will walk you through, it's like the dessert. I will show you some great examples of our clients' public profiles and then show you how you can build it out yourself, access it from your Artwork Archive account, along with some tips on how to get the most out of that public profile. Then we'll follow that same process for the website embeds, which is syncing your Artwork Archive account, all of the data that is within your Artwork Archive account onto your website, so you don't have to double enter the information. And overall, as you probably all know, having a strong online presence isn't just a nice to have. It's essential for visibility, credibility, engagement. So whether you're a museum, a college, a gallery, a hospital, I saw many of you fill out the poll, so you are here today. Your digitized collection helps you showcase your collection. So it promotes your exhibitions if you have them, and it connects you with your audience in an engaging way. And in this session, as I said, we're going to show you how you can get the most out of your Artwork Archive account to drive traffic, build trust. That was the theme for AAM this past year, and expand your reach without needing a web developer, whether you have one or whether you don't. Or maybe you need to work with them as much as you do. We'll get into that. So why online access matters now. As I said, digital access isn't just about visibility, but it can support your mission in a lot of powerful ways. So I'm not going to read out this slide. I will also send these slides out after the presentation if you want these speaking points. But engagement, giving your community a way to engage, whether on site or remotely. Scholarship, perhaps many of you have folks from out of town contacting you about your collection, and they don't have the resources to fly in, or you don't want to be pulling things out of the drawers constantly. Funding, this is an interesting one. A well-documented, visible collection demonstrates great stewardship, so you can speak to that in grant applications, or donors will be excited to see their gifts quickly utilized, not just pushed off into storage, waiting for the next exhibition that it can be a part of. Internal success. So good stewardship helps you with continuity. If folks are moving off of the team, you have new colleagues, there's continuity, a central database for folks to access. And then you're preserving the legacy of your institution, your collection for decades to come. And similar on that vein, a few years ago, having a digital presence for your collection was a nice to have. It was a bonus. It was something that if you had time, or like a tech savvy intern that you did, but now it's expected, especially in these recent years. Audiences want to browse artworks online. They want to plan visits. They want to learn more about your artists. So if your collection isn't easily accessible online, you miss risking out on that engagement and even potential partnerships. Folks that may be interested in connecting with you, they can't connect with you if they can't find you. And an interesting story that I've told in the past is that the Marjorie Barrick Museum of Art at University of Nevada, Las Vegas, said that their students visited their online exhibitions that they posted with their public profile. The students would visit those online exhibitions before they went to the gallery because they were unfamiliar with museums. They've never been to one. They were perhaps a bit intimidated. And so it helped them warm up, get familiar with what they were going to see, familiarize themselves with the content, build up confidence. So that's a really great story, especially for those academic folks on this webinar. Found an interesting stat from Culture Track that 72% of cultural audiences now expect online access to collections. Even if they plan to visit in person, online doesn't necessarily replace foot traffic. It helps bolster it, boost it, enhance it. And so without a digital presence, you may be overlooked by potential visitors, researchers, missing opportunities for press and partnerships. And then also you're probably creating extra work. If your collection is centralized and online, then staff a great story is like if a security guard is asked a question in the gallery about a work, and they can pull up the object record and share more information. You're also not burdening your registrar with a lot of asks that staff can answer themselves. And so, so there's friendly nudge into action when it comes to digitizing our collections and utilizing the tools within Artwork Archive. And so it looks like my beautiful image that I had isn't showing. That's okay, because I'm going to have a lot more. So when you create an Artwork Archive account, for many of those that have an Artwork Archive account that are on the free trial, great to know that by default, all of your data will be private, but you can easily turn your public profile on from your account. I'm going to show you an example. There we go. So a public profile is a public portal to your institution. It allows you to showcase your collection in a clean, searchable format without having to build out a new website or rely on IT. So I've seen organizations use the public profile as they are creating a website, switching to a new website provider, or just in addition to boosted marketing. Your customized and branded profile can include artworks, as you see here, exhibitions, artist bios, an interactive map for public art programs, academic institutions, hospitals, those with spread, your collections, which is like groupings within your entire collection. We'll show some examples of those. A news section and an about section so they can learn more about your organization. You have selective sharing control, so you decide what artworks and what information you want to display. So for instance, you don't have to show the price of the artwork unless you're a gallery or you're a nonprofit selling artworks. If you're a corporate collection and interested in privacy controls, you can make the profile available to a select group, like your staff, by password protecting the page. And because Artwork Archive is a part of our Discovery platform, when you turn it on, it is hosted on our Discovery platform, which is part of our top nav on our website. Your collection becomes visible to a much wider audience, including collectors, educators, artists, and others who are also using the platform, either themselves for their account or to explore art themselves. And my background, well, I volunteer. I'm part of the art selection committee for Children's Hospital Colorado. And I heard from our arts coordinator that with their public profile, they use Artwork Archive. They have a public profile. A local mosaic artist found them and reached out to them seeking to collaborate. And it just turned out that the art coordinator was planning a mosaic project and she needed an artist. She didn't know where she was going to turn. And so this was a great connection and collaboration in the project. I'm really excited to see it. Duke Arts and Health Program told me that they tripled their art sales when they brought their art fundraiser online with the public profile because they weren't relying on just foot traffic. Family members, staff who had since moved away, all had access online to the art fundraiser. And because Artwork Archive has been around for over a decade and has strong search engine visibility from that time, your public profile benefits from our boosted SEO, making it easier for people to find your collection through Google and other search engines. And I had a quote in the agenda from the University Art Museum at NMSU that said that they saw an increase in traffic to their website without changing anything else. So as I've been talking, you have been looking at the San Jose Museum of Quilts and Textiles public profile. Their entire collection is online. If I scroll over, I can learn more about a piece, can click in and learn more about this particular quilt. It's a great description. Speaking of those donors, we can see that it is a gift from Evelyn Bauer. The techniques applied, which are very important for quilts. I can inquire, send them a message. This boosts the engagement. Maybe my grandmother has a quilt that or use similar techniques, or I have a quilt that looks very similar. I can contact the museum, can also share it. I'm going to show a bunch of different organizations. We have so many different types of organization types here, and everyone's public profile is a little different. Now, to Children's Hospital Colorado that I was just speaking to, they do a great job bringing their rotating exhibitions, temporary exhibitions online. They have a gallery space that is on the main floor and gets a lot of foot traffic. And now they have a lot of online engagement by bringing them onto the public profile. So one helpful thing is now they have an archive of past shows. I can click in and see what is up now, which is great because I'm not in Denver right now. So I'm curious what's on the walls. There's a carousel. These are actually images of poster boards that are up in the hallways explaining more about the artist, the works, the process. One thing to call out, a tip that I really appreciate, we have a lot of Spanish-speaking patients, families, and so they have their descriptions in two languages. It's bilingual, so that it's more accessible to the Spanish-speaking population. And here you can see the works that are installed. If I click in, I can see more. So if I go back to exhibitions and I scroll down, it's been a long time. This exhibition I love. It's about a neighborhood that is down the street from the hospital. Many people fly in, drive in, and don't know about what is going on around in the backyard of the hospital. Again, Spanish translation, and they have a number of artists that participated in the show. And so I can click in and learn more about Julio, Jules, and see the works of theirs that's in the show. One other thing that Children's Hospital Colorado did that's really creative, if you are a hospital, a nonprofit, a museum with an outdoor space, an academic institution, they created a scavenger hunt and made it into a collection. So again, collections, it's kind of confusing because you have an entire collection, but our language collections are like the groupings, the categories that you can create. And so they created a collection that was of their outdoor sculpture garden and create a scavenger hunt. And so they share this link with visitors. When my son was in the hospital, we were shared this and I can click in. It used to be a printed PDF that they handed out, so they digitized that. And I can go around and find the works. So important to get patients, if they can, outside, moving about. And so this is to encourage that. And so I just love that example. They also have one for the NICU and the PICU, which are, if you've unfortunately been in the hospital system, know that those are areas that only those that need to go in, and it can be kind of isolated. And so to have a scavenger hunt in those areas, when you spend a lot of time in those hallways, can be a real lovely, like, reprieve, source of entertainment, distraction. A lot of what hospital collections do. I adore Tila Studios. They are based in Atlanta, and they are a visual arts incubator that was founded to empower Black female artists and to get their artwork showcased more and sold more. And so they have these beautiful artist pages. If you have an Artwork Archive account, I will show you this, but we have contacts where you create an artist record. And in that artist record, you have the ability to upload a headshot, to include their bio, which you see here. This little globe icon brings you to their website, and then you can see the different works of hers that are available for sale through Tila Studios. And so what I have seen is that a lot of our organizations, they may have these artist pages, which are great, but they don't include the bio, or they may not have a headshot, which is, fine. The artist will just be happy to have the artworks of theirs. We'll be happy to have the artworks of theirs online and another place for marketing. But it's just, you boost their marketing their legacy by including more information about them. And if you have it, why not share it out? Another great thing that you can do with the public profile, I mentioned collections. So the Mask Alive art collection, they're moving towards being a museum in Arizona, but right now they're focusing on being like a museum without walls, an online presence. So they bring their collection alive by creating these various collections within. So their founding collection, which was donated by a performing artist named Zarko, who is very involved in the community. Then they have a performance education collection. And then this is fun. Artwork Archive, we are not an e-commerce platform. Our clients use other online platforms to sell their works, but you can include purchase links and purchase inquiries. And so I've seen a few organizations like Mask Alive create a collection for an online gift shop to sell. Here, it's masks, Mercado masks for sale, but it could be runs, reproductions, mugs, whatever it may be. And so let's see, if I wanted to get this piece, I could click the purchase link, and then it sends me to their Square site so I can buy it. So another place to drive sales if you are a gallery. This could be a consideration. If you are a nonprofit doing a fundraiser, you could have a collection for the works that are for sale. The meat and potatoes of a public profile, so important to have an about section so they can learn about you. This might be the first time they've learned about your organization. They might have discovered you on the Discovery platform. And so here, Arts at MSP at the Minneapolis St. Paul Airport has a great about, brings you to their website. And then what I love is that they have open calls. And so their opportunities, their annual opportunities are listed here. And for those that attended our webinar, you know that we released a call for entry management solution within Artwork Archive. So you can create calls and market calls right from Artwork Archive. And so you can, if you have like an annual and ongoing call that you want folks to submit to your artist roster, to your piano players roster, you can have that in the About section for people to connect with you. Then we have an interactive map. This is great. So if you are a public art program, a hospital, an academic institution, a corporate collection with global spread, you can, and you want to make the artworks public in from your various offices, you can do so. And so here we are at for Nebraska's Percent for Art program. I can see what is in Kearney. Just drove through Kearney with my family 2 years ago. I can see the artworks in the area. Let's see what's at the Education Center. I can click in, learn more about the piece, and then you will see the address. And then since it's on Google Maps, you can get directions to it. So the map is great. I've seen academic institutions link to this for reunions or for prospective students and families to showcase where the artworks are around campus to help them navigate, which is a really wonderful tool. So if you are including GPS coordinates or a location, then you can include the map. Nebraska also has a really great collection of their 500-mile sculpture garden. And so just wanted to show that for the public art folks that are watching now or may watch the recording later. Just a few more examples. We also have a news section on the public profile. This is like a little mini blog, a place to keep folks up to date on what is going on in your organization. I've seen exhibition announcements. The Marjorie Barrick Museum of Art has interns, graduate students As you can see, this is written by Sydney Galindo. She wrote for her graduate internship about an exhibition. And so this is a great thing to do with your students, to give them a publication that they can list on their resume, give them practice. They can even research objects from your collection from your public profile and learn more if you wish. And so it's just another great tool that is at your fingertips. And another example of a news section from a publishing house. And then two small things that I wanted to point out that the Marjorie Barrick does really well as a tip. So we click into this piece, the tool bag. And one of their projects that they've done with students is they've asked the students to go through the collection and write image descriptions for the works. And so these have all been written by students. And then they add them to the public profile, to the object record, to enhance accessibility. Students can also use, I know the RISD Art Museum presented at NEMA 2 years ago and saying that they're moving towards using AI, ChatGPT or whatever it may be. And then the students are reviewing them. But it's just a great project to give your students, and it enhances the accessibility for your public profile for your institution. They also do a lovely job showcasing additional images, which I'll show you where you can do that as well. And so we have beautiful detail shots of this wonderful piece. So those are a lot of great examples. For those that don't yet have an Artwork Archive account, you can access it. I am now on the back end of Artwork Archive after you've created an account. If you have a free trial with us, you can access this during the free trial. If you don't have an account with us, you can create an account and play around with this. So if I click into my profile, one thing to note is if I click into public settings, when you create your account, by default, all of your information will be private because the public profile is a choice. If you want to activate the public profile, you check this box and then it is public. So you can toggle it on and off during the free trial to see what it looks like. One tip to call out is that sometimes I see organizations, free trials being created by an individual, and they put their name in when they create the account. And then their personal name becomes the organization name and the name that is in the URL for the public profile. So you'll want to, if you did that by accident, it's okay. You can just go into the profile info and change the name to your organization name. And then I'll show you where you can change it for the URL. There's also a profile footer. I didn't see any in the examples I shared that I can remember, but it will be shown at the bottom of your profile or your embed pages. And you can use this for copyright information or additional links. This is where you include your logo, social media links. This is the About section that you complete. So the longer form that you saw in the MSP example comes from the description, whereas this short description is what you saw underneath the logo in the top left-hand corner, just like a quick little blurb. We give you a character limit that explains to the public, who you are, what kind of organization you are. And then public settings. So this is where you can change your URL. So if you accidentally, signed up again, like with your personal name, or your gallery changes name, you can change the URL here. And what it will change is everything after the profile, because again, this is hosted on our Discovery website. I will get into website embeds that live within your own website in a little bit. Few tips here. I see a lot of organizations selecting randomized daily when it comes to ordering the pieces in your portfolio, under that portfolio link under all of your artworks. This is great so that, Ansel Adams isn't always at the top. Keeping it fresh, if people come back to your site, they will see new artwork. So randomized daily, along with a lot of other options, as you can see, and you can customize order as well. When it comes to the data settings, they said that you have control. So a lot of public art programs, museums don't want to show prices, so you don't have to. Don't check the box. The attribution line is great to give credit to where credit's due. For those that have a global audience, you can check, or just an audience may be interested in centimeters and inches. You can select that. And then a few things to call out here. Marjorie Barrick had additional images for their work. So there's a main hero image, but then you can store additional images within your artwork archive account, installation shots, detail shots, and you can show those. I'll also show you can include video links. So if you have a video of the artist creating the work, and a video of the installation of the public artwork, you can include those video links if they are hosted on YouTube or Vimeo, boosting context and giving more engaging data points for folks. We also last year added audio files. And so if you have any oral history, so important to preserving legacies, then you can include the audio files as well, and people can listen to the artist or the curator talking about the works. We have a few options when it comes to display settings, how you want the information to be viewed. There's two different layouts, a grid view versus tile, and we have a little description of how they are different. And then you have control over what you are showing on the public profile. And so what I showed you was when you hover over the artwork, there was information displayed. But if you don't want that, you want people to click in to the piece to learn more, or rather you want the information below, then you just check this box, show info below image instead of hover. You have a few options when it comes to contact settings. So there is an inquire button, a purchase button, and a share button. So the inquire button, I clicked into it. That will be a message that will come into your artwork archive inbox. And so you can engage with the community member. Purchase links are great because you can receive a purchase inquiry in your inbox. And if you are selling online, you might be selling it in person. And so this way you can confirm if it is still available by checking out your artwork archive inventory. And so a helpful tool. And then you can decide what you want your default landing page to be. And then you can customize the order of your collections on that collections page and the order of your artists. And I covered a few things that are helpful to show on the public profile when it comes to an object record. And I just want to call out where on the object record you add those. And so the additional images can be added to your object record. Your video links can be added to your object record and then shared out. Audio files. If I scroll up, the attribution line lives within acquisition details. The location, when you are adding a location and including the address or the GPS coordinates, that will give you the ability to show it on the map. And if I scroll down, I showed you on the Mask Alive collection that they have a Mercado and they have a Square page. And so what they did was they linked within here, public info, they included a purchase link. So when I clicked that purchase button, it brought me to their Square page to buy the piece. So if you have a Square page or another type of e-commerce site, you can drive the purchase button there to initiate the purchase. And so you include that link on the object record. Great. Now we'll move into website embeds. So public profile, you can turn it on very easily. It's hosted on Artwork Archive. And a big reason why organizations come to us is because of this website embed. Many of you are not using it, so hopefully this will prompt you to join in. You can sync your data from your Artwork Archive database to your website, so you're not reliant on IT or a developer to update your site with new acquisitions or your rotating exhibitions. So if an artwork is added to your Artwork Archive account, if you added it and you make it public, it will display on your website. If an artwork is sold from your gallery and you mark that sale in Artwork Archive, it will no longer be viewed as available. It'll be marked as sold. And so we embed on all websites. So I'll show you some examples, and then we'll walk you through where in Artwork Archive you can access these integrations. So this is an example from Villanova University. They embed their entire collection. I clicked into an object record. And so very similar to the public profile feel, right? Because we're pulling the information that is housed in the database, but now it's on the website's branded, it's on the branded website. And so it's seamless. You can't tell it's hosted from Artwork Archive. They've included the About the Artist section, so you can learn more about the artist and the artwork. If I click into Art in Public Places and Salt Lake County Arts, I love this piece. Like father, like son breathing fire, maybe in this heat, we're all feeling like we're breathing fire. But again, another great example of sharing about the artist, the work. They have the location. It's a public art program. It's in the government center. If you're in Salt Lake City, go check it out. You can see exactly where it is. You can embed collections, so not just in your entire collection, but collections within. Davidson College does a beautiful job of breaking their collections down by department and type. So here on the Davidson website, you can see the campus sculpture program. I can click in and learn more about their sculpture program. They've included description. We had a Patrick Doherty at my alma mater for a brief amount of time. I can click in and learn more. They've linked to a publication, which is great, great for scholarship. And so a number of different types of collections that can be embedded by their department. The Women's Studies department has a collection. They had students tag artworks and then they created collections from those. So they have a whole collection that's music, and students had gone in and tagged all the artworks that reminded them of music, whether it showed an instrument or what have you. Another academic institution, the Berman Museum at Ursinus College, just digitized. They have the largest Francois Julot collection and her archive. And so they just digitized it, brought it online, centralized it within their Artwork Archive database. And now you can explore the collection on their website. I have an article about this as well and how they did it. So you can click in and learn more about her body of artworks. Showed you that Nebraska Arts Council sculpture garden on the public profile, and this is what it looks like embedded on their website. Arts New Orleans embeds beautiful exhibitions. And so here's an exhibition from 2022. Again, the carousel, installation shots. You can scroll down. They've created rooms that's possible within your exhibitions feature, which is like, again, groupings within your exhibition. You can click in and learn more about a piece. Arts New Orleans also embeds their map. So if I scroll down, Here's their map. And click in and find a work. Again, we're on their website. Can't tell it's hosted from Artwork Archive. It's just one line of code. You can embed artist pages. And so here is a gallery's artist page. It's a gallery, so you can see what is still available versus what is sold. You can also you can include their bio from Artwork Archive, but these two galleries have decided to just show the artworks, which is an option, which makes it really easy for a gallery, right? So as you're selling works in the gallery or at fairs and you're marking them as sold, then on your website, they're quickly shown as not available anymore. Let's go back to Salt Lake County. Here is an artwork that actually was done in collaboration. And so you can information about both artists that have worked on the project. So here we have Brian and Joe. I just love their collaboration. Here is a art consultant and interior designer. She sells artworks by the artist. So I wanted to click in and show you the purchase link. Again, I showed it on the public profile, but on the embed, same functionality. If it goes to a cart, then you can link to that as well to drive sales. Then I'm in Massachusetts right now, so no shade to Massachusetts for dropping my internet. I'm on the coast, but I love the DeCordova has a partnership in which they have an artist lending program with the trustees. And so they use the embed to showcase all of the artists in the roster that you can have artworks on loan from these artists in your corporate collection, which is just really great. And again, another great marketing place for the artists. So where does this live? Maybe you have already seen it if you use Artwork Archive. It lives within integrations. So within integrations, we explain it's one line of code, which is here in the box. You copy and paste it onto your within your HTML. You can embed, as I mentioned, particular collections. You can see the code changed. You can embed your map. You can embed an artist page. Code changes. And so you just copy and paste that onto your website. Your developer can do this. We have artists who do this and do this on their own website. And we have instructions for the different types of websites if you need help. We also have a customer support team that's available via chat. And then within the embed, you have a few options. And so you can have the collection name header on the collection embed. You can show the artist image and bio on the artist pages, as you saw in a few examples. You can show the collections filter. So there's like a drop down if you want them to be able to select and search and engage, if they're looking for ceramics versus works from, the 20th century, whatever it may be. And you also have the same drop down for artists. So that all lives within integrations. And it's really easy. This way, you don't have to be a developer yourself. It's pulling, that line of code is pulling all the information you put into Artwork Archive to populate onto your website. And then one thing I could show you, because my internet dropped, is that the news section lives within my post. It's just like a little mini blog. This is where you can create them. They can be in draft form if a student wrote it before you want to publish it. And then public pieces, not all of your works need to be public. If you have a deaccessioned collection or a work that has been donated and the donor asked for it not to be available online, you can quickly find it using our filters and not make it not public. This link was a bunch of the tips that I was giving, like this slide was a bunch of the tips that I was giving throughout the presentation. This slide will be available with the recording, so you can go through and use it as a checkbox if you'd like, a checklist. I also included some links to some help docs and some blog articles and webinars that I've done in the past about increasing audience engagement. And then for those that are new to Artwork Archive, if you want to start using these tools, we have a free 14-day trial. We have a free demo. If you're an organization that's been with us for a while and you didn't receive a demo a long time ago and you want to know what's new, contact us. We're happy to give you a tour. We have a newsletter, we have a blog, we have a lot of resources to help you out. So that was my presentation. Are there any questions?
Elysian, there's, if I can just point your attention towards a question or two. The one that is currently open is talking about distinguishing, being able to have a map to a specific collection.
I love that, Sarah. Yeah, so with the map, it will pull all of the artworks that are public and that have locations in the object records. So right now there isn't a way to drill down by collection, but I love this and it is captured because you put it in the Q&A. And so I'm going to share that with our dev team, especially I think with our public art programs, that would be helpful.
Great. And then there was also a layer to a question here that I answered, but I'm just curious. We were asked what membership level allows artist headshots and bios, and so I just wanted to clarify if I got that correctly, that all of the membership levels include that, and that the main distinction between the membership levels might be of interest to people.
Yeah. Oh, and shame on me. I mentioned that I would show you where to include those bios. Let me pop back in. So our organization plans are differentiated by the number of pieces that you need to track, your number of locations, the number of logins. And then recently, when we launched our call for entry management solution, that is available in our mid-tier and top tier, so our plus and enterprise plans. If you are on a collector account, you also have access to the public profile and these artist records as well. And the collector plans are, there's a few other differentiating factors. Not all of the features are available. The organization is our more robust platform, which is why we do a lot of these demonstrations on them. But I mentioned, if I click into contacts, the public profile is pulling from your contact record. And so this is where you include the headshot, their website, their bio, and then all of the artworks of theirs that is in your collection. So as long as you are putting that in the contact record. And a plug for the call for entry management solution is if you are using that and you're using that for a call for an open exhibition or competition, you have all of the submissions. You can take all of the accepted works and copy them into your inventory and then quickly make an online exhibition, quickly bring those artist profiles online without a lot of double entering or copying over from another, calls for entry platform. It's all within Artwork Archive. And so that will hopefully be seamless for you. That great artist information is being pulled from the contact record.
Mm-hmm.
And
phenomenal.
In all plans. Contact records galore.
All the plans. That is wonderful. Great. And then another question we got in here was about including what to put under name if it's a private collection. Why would you not want to use your name, and what do you suggest?
Oh, when I went into here. Yeah, so for a private collection, If it's a private collection, yeah, surely it could be, Sam Adams collection or the collection of the Adams family. What I was referencing is, as Elysian Kogelmeyer, if I worked for, the Denver Art Museum, and I created an account for the Denver Art Museum, I might have entered Elysian Kogelmeyer under the name when creating a free trial. So that would be the name on the profile, whereas it should be the Denver Art Museum, the name of the institution. That makes sense. But if you're a private collection and the collection is under your name, then yeah, great. You can have it be that. It's more that the registrar's name or the executive director's name doesn't show up as the name of the organization for like a museum or a public art program.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. We just got another question in. Is there a way to add curator for an exhibit?
Yeah, love that. There is. Let's go into exhibitions. Let's go into one that I think has a curator. So you can see here, that's one of the fields when you create an exhibition is, if you have visiting curators, that you want to call out from your staff, you can definitely include that information. And then it will show on your public profile or on your website embed. You can also include additional information about the curator in your description within the exhibition. If I scroll down, you can also, this is where you link to the carousel images and videos. Maybe you have a curator's talk. You can link to that and include that in your exhibition as well. It's a good question.
Fabulous. Thank you so much.
Tip that I gave that I didn't show was one tip you'll see in the slides is that not all of your collections have to be public. You can hide a collection. So if you are working on a DX session or you're auditing some works, you can make that collection hidden. And so then it won't show on your public profile. And so that's where this box just needs to be checked to hide it so that it's not publicly viewable.
That's great. And just one more question came in. Do you create the carousel within Artwork Archive or need to upload it?
Oh, no, it's Artwork Archive creates it for you. So if I go back into that exhibition, this is an exhibition record. I'm going to scroll back down. The carousel is populated by this exhibition media space. So if you add photos, if you add videos, then that will populate the carousel. So if you add 3 photos, then the carousel will be 3 images large. If you don't include any additional exhibition media, then you won't have a carousel to click through. It will be the main image that you have uploaded to the exhibition record. So if I go into the exhibition record, where is it living? Oh, yeah. It'll just be the primary image. You can see you can add captions. You can change the order if you wish. And so your carousel can be quite large, like up to 30 images. And this is where you link to the videos. It's a really good question. This is why we're here, because you might see and be like, that's really cool, but how do I do that within my account? That's where you do it. Any other questions?
That's wonderful. There's no other open questions that we just got in the chat. Thank you, everyone from Susan. Just signed up for a year and an intro demo to help me figure this out a bit more. Yay! Fabulous.
I like Mir. Justin.
Yeah.
And one thing to call out in this last minute is my cursor in this lower right-hand corner is our chat. We have an amazing customer support team of real human beings. Sometimes people write in and be like, are you a robot? And we do have help docs that come up. We do have many help docs. They're linked in the slide in the Learning Center about our public profile, about our website, embeds, video tutorials, written docs. You can access them here within the Learning Center, but you can also contact us via chat at any time, and we're happy to be of help.
Yes.
Our next webinar in late August will be about the call for entry management solution, talking specifically about hosting paid calls. So if you're curious in that, stay tuned, join our newsletter if you're not already on it, and we will share that out for the end of August, where hopefully my internet is a little bit more stable. Apparently not today.
Hey, you made it work. You know what? And that's how we all have that happen sometimes. And I just want to really acknowledge you for your composure, and you're speaking from so much experience and expertise that I appreciate our audience rolling with the punches here today, and being really engaged and learning a lot in this hour. So, aw, thanks. Everyone's chiming in the chat with a lot of appreciation too. It's really nice to hear you, and you do indeed reach real humans when you write into us
Yes.
for help. So,
So thank you,
yeah.
everyone. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Thank you for sticking with it. Go on in, log back into Artwork Archive, update your public profile, turn it on, try out the website embed. You can also try that out during a free trial, see what it looks like. And yeah, contact us if you have any questions. Looking forward to seeing you in the next webinar. Thank you, Anamika, for your help. I appreciate it.